Hey guys, good afternoon. We are going to the airport right now. Bit rushing because not really for the flight, but we're kind of hungry, so we're gonna head down there a little bit early, heading to Vegas for a few days for a conference. So I figured while we're trekking down to LAX, I will give you some updates on how everything is going with the truck and the move and everything else. So I am going to start with the trailer and kind of let you see the improvements we've had this last week. Paint is done. We have the chairs obviously are not done, but we tried out this flat bench cover, and we're going to do that with all four. We're just putting that there because we had happy hour here yesterday. And here are the cabinets that when you lift, ta-da, lights. We just have to put struts, which I think Ryan ordered already. Same with all the cabinets. We had, Ryan put lights in there. Bathroom as well. I just have to clean those, but it's pretty much looking like a trailer. And we're still airing out the fridge here, but it's white. We tested out. It works through the gas, so we have to figure out why it's not working through gas. The stove we tested as well, and that is working beautifully, as well as the microwave. Sink is in. We tested the hot water. It's definitely getting warm. I think Ryan wants it a little bit more instantaneous, so we'll figure that out. But TV, like I said, we were having happy hour here yesterday, and TV definitely works over the air. We were watching Columbo, and I think in the next couple of days, once we get the struts, we'll put the bed in and the lining, the peel and stick flooring. There's actually a sample here that we have of the flooring that we chose, so that is that. But there's the whole trailer. We are, again, really close to getting things done. We have to put the backsplash there. Everything here, all that wonderful gauges, they all seem to be working. So yeah, it's all nice and clean. We just have a few things that we still need to do, but very, very minor, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get that going soon. So that is going to happen soon. That's the update on the trailer. So moving on from the trailer, as you can see, that is progressing really, really good, really quickly. Very few more things. I think now is a good time to talk about sort of the bad things that happened in April. We are selling, since we're moving, some of the things that we have here, and some of them are, one of them is Ryan's car, and eventually my car will be sold as well. And we posted it on Craigslist, the price, and you have a couple of buyers that call, which we've done with a couple of our vehicles, jet skis, what have you, since living here. And two folks, youngish boys, came over to the house, test drove the car. Make a long story short, they handed us a cashier's check for the amount that we asked, and a few days later we found out that the cashier's check was fake. So that was a bit of a painful experience, and we're still trying to get maybe something from the insurance companies. We try to do the right step, but this is the first time that's ever happened in, I don't know, 15 years that I've lived here. Ryan all his life. So yeah, we heard all the hindsight. I got yelled at by the cops and everybody that I know. But it took about a day, and then we realized that these losers have taken enough of our time and made us kind of grumpy, sad, and irritable with each other, and they're just not worth it. I'm a big believer in karma, but I'm also mere mortal that I do find satisfaction in seeing karma happen in real life, but that's probably not going to happen. So you know, again, very expensive lesson learned, and yeah, there's just nothing we can do anymore. We're trying to do the right steps, but it's just it is what it is. Like I know it's like I can't believe that happened, and like I said, it took about 24 hours for us to kind of accept that that's what happened, and when we sell my car in a few weeks here, trust me, there's going to be a lot of failovers with cashing the check and making sure that that's all in the up and up. So that is the kind of, what do you call that? Maybe a bruise in the month of April. Of course, this is outside of the fact that we had paid, it's tax month, right? April 15th. So we paid quite a bit in taxes. So the coffers got depleted quite a bit in the span of 2 days. But again, there's kind of nothing we can do. This is just expected. We just didn't expect the car being stolen and having a fake car and a fake check and all of that. So yeah, so again, that's the bruise of April. But the trailer's looking good. An update on the car: we have decided on contractor, and we are signed up with them. So hopefully everything is going to just kind of at least get that started. One of the things that I am looking at when it comes to sending money, because it's quite a significant amount that they're asking as a down payment, and I usually go through a online when I send money to my mom or whoever, and because you're sending such a quite large amount of money over. One of the things that I'm looking at is the exchange rates of different online services, and what I found is that compared to actually going to a physical bank, like a Filipino bank here that can remit money to the Philippines, their exchange rate is actually quite high. And again, if you do the math and you do the conversion, you can save quite a bit of money. The downside of that is that I have to go through the physical act of sending money and find a branch, and it's just a bit of hassle. But if you're going to save a good chunk of change, it might be worth it. So that's the thing that I'm sort of doing some research on. Every bit counts, especially now. But contractor's done. We're signed up, and hopefully the house is going to get started. And as of now, I'm going home in October to sort of buy the finishing touches for the house. So at least that's off my mind. The next thing is the shipping. We found a shipper that was kind of right in our price range, and she is actually checking for me if we can actually store the container with them. It will save us some hassle of transferring our contents to a used container back in the Philippines, back and forth. And if the price is somewhat reasonable, we might just do that. And that's the only thing I'm waiting for, because she has to check with her agent in the Philippines to see how much it's going to cost, for how long. So that's the only thing we're waiting. And once that's done, I can set a date for when they can pick up the stuff here at the house to ship over. And then that's one of the bucket list, the checklist that has to be done. So there's a lot of prep. We're getting there, but I keep telling Ryan that I wish we're at the part where we're already like living in the van and everything is already done. But the prep work is always takes the longest. So I will continue my chit chat probably at the airport, because we have to run down to LAX, and hopefully we're both starving. It's about 2:30 and we haven't had lunch yet. So we're going to pick up some lunch on the way down, and then I'll continue on my updates. All right, let's go. Okay, we're just waiting for Ryan here to get the car. So we covered the trailer, we covered the stolen car. Let me turn off this music here. We covered moving, taxes, house. What else is there to cover? Work. Work is going, busy still. So you know, I'm hoping it will settle down once we're actually living in the van, but I have already given my official last date for the end of the year, just so that there are no surprises in whatever transition. And you know, Ryan is still on that path of, once the house sells, he is going to resign and just sort of manage the trailer when we go traveling. So yeah, everything is still sort of in kind of in the path of where we wanted to. I think the next stop is really trying to figure out where we want to head out, which path, and I think that's really going to make it real. Like I said, you know, for the trailer, I think we're going to try to do a maiden voyage in and around California to make sure that everything works and we're not killing each other within a 21-foot trailer. But you know, other than that, you know, everything is going really, really well. So I think that's all the updates I have.
One eternity later.
All right, so we just stopped at this random diner here on the way to the airport. Good?
All set. Food is about to be served.
Sorry, quick break here. Food came.
Let's see that. Look at that thing. That's what I'm talking about.
And I'm giving updates on the month of April. So I talked about the trailer.
Okay.
I talked about the stupid car getting stolen.
Okay.
I talked about the picking our contractor for the house.
Okay.
I talked about shipping.
Okay.
So the last thing, which I'm going to put pictures on, is our surprise for you, flying the B-17.
Cool. I mean, apparently the guy who flew that thing, he has more hours in a B-17 than anybody else ever. The company that does this has been doing it for 30 years. You can't really see out the windows because you're seated on the floor of it, so I didn't really know we took off. I mean, I knew we were moving pretty fast, but it was so smooth, and then they gave us this symbol to, okay, you can get a move around, so I made a beeline for the actual bombardier spot, which is enclosed all in plastic.
And that's where
cool.
Pop-Up would have sat.
Yeah, they had I don't know if it was a real Norm bomb site or a mock-up of one or whatever, but like it was all there.
Okay.
So that was super cool. I got a great picture. When we landed, again, you can't see out the window because you're seated. The only reason I knew we landed is because I heard a tire squeak, like the squeal of a tire.
That's what you said too.
It was so smooth coming down. But yeah, it was awesome. Like, it's really cool. I guess the guy said that plane was, it was built, it came off the assembly line basically after the war was over, so it never saw any combat.
But it was a pretty good replica.
No, it's an exact plane. I mean, it was built from the same place the rest of them were. It was used to fight fires, and I forget what else it did. Some other thing, some other peaceful mission. And then when these guys got it, I guess 30 years ago, they painted it up to look like the 909, which is a fairly well-known B-17. I think it was the most highly decorated B-17 of the war.
A few moments later. 2,000 years later.
Interesting.
And blackheads can only act for so long. Introducing Bioré Ultra Deep Cleansing Pore Strips. Switch it on. Get rid of blackheads, unclog pores, and just 10 minutes. Clog pores, keep cleansing with Bioré Pore Strips. Bioré, for your pores. Really small businesses are doing better something small but not big. That's why Dell Small Business Technology Advisors give you trusted advice.
So hey guys, so that's all the updates. We are now in Vegas at the Westin, and we are just gonna grab a quick bite and a cocktail downstairs at the bar, and then the week in Vegas begins, which usually involves a couple of late night socializing and dinners. But you know, this is probably one of the last times Ryan and I are actually going to be here in Vegas, as we were just discussing that we will probably skip this town on our cross-country trip because we've been here more times than we care to remember. So that is it for now. I will catch you guys soon, and bye.